Hello all loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver, welcome to my channel. This week I'm going to be talking about the subject of video games. Does it matter if the main character is a woman or a man? Now, really, let's get this out of the way first of all. Yes, I am a male, and yes, I'm a heterosexual male. That, on the other hand, doesn't really play into it too much, but we'll get that out of the way for a start off, in case anybody starts asking stupid questions. The fact is, does it matter what your main character is? My opinion is no, because at the end of the day, if your main character is a male, then, so what? He can deal with the world in the way that a male deals with the world. If it's a female, same thing. She can deal with the way that a female might deal with the world. But the question really is not so much whether or not it matters whether it's a male or a female, but why would a dev make one choice over the others? For example, they might say that they want a male lead because they want a big, strong character who's, who fulfills all the male stereotypes, strong, heroic, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, Some games actually offer you the choice of choosing whether you can have a male or a female. So then your main character can be whatever you want it to be. And that is good. That's good, because then you can't really complain then, because you chose for the character to be whatever it is. So you know what I mean? So you can pick what you want the character to be. That's great. But in games where they don't give you that choice, does it matter at the end of the day? When it comes down to it, do you think that the choice of character that the devs make matters? See, for example, right, and I think I've mentioned this before in my vlogs, but for example, in Subnautica, the original one, you're a male. And when they said that they were going to bring out the second one, Below Zero, they said, first of all, they said they were going to bring it out as a DLC, and they never did. They brought it out as a separate game. But secondly, they said the character was going to be female. And there was a lot of controversy over the fact that they said they would never have a male character in their games ever again. Now, I've done this vlog on that particular controversy, so I'm not going to go too deeply into it. But my question really more of that is, does it matter? Does it really matter? And again, to me the answer is no. If the character is male or female doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day they can deal with the world in certain ways. What does matter to me is how they present the male or the female. For example, if they say that their main character is male, but you spend all your time wearing basically nothing but a loincloth covering the obvious area, you have to look and say, why is that main character a male? Is it because they wanted a big, strong, heroic guy, or is it because they wanted the women to swoon and fawn over him and be, oh, isn't he handsome, and oh, isn't he, oh, look at those muscles, and oh, I can't play this game, I'm getting too hot all of a sudden. In other words, are they trying to sexualize him? And don't be fooled, people. Men can be sexualized in video games just as much as women can. People may not think so. People may think that when they think of sexualization in video games, they usually think of women, and they're right that happens. But men can be just as much as women. Don't ever forget that. Because, they present the character built like a flipping brick outhouse, huge muscles, looking like he'd been at the gym every day for years, and walking around looking like so bronzed, and he's wearing next to nothing. If that isn't sexualization, I don't know what is. This is me. this is me. I'm fat. I'm certainly stocky. I'm certainly wide, stocky shoulders. Yeah? But this is me. Let's be honest. Let's be absolutely honest. I am not bronzed. I am not muscly. I am what I am, which is stocky, bordering on fat. Yeah? I accept this. But I am not your average, stereotypical male. What you think of in video games. In fact, if they put me in a video game, I would be the comedy character who's always lagging behind and going, I'll be there in a minute. You know? And you know the ones I mean that get put in there. That would be me. Right? I am not I am not a fit character in that sense. I am not unfit, but I'm not fit to the extent that you would have to be to do some of the things they do. Right? That would be me. So yeah, men can be objectified just as much as women can. So in that sense, that part you have to question about. Now the same with women. When they put women in as the lead, are they doing it because they want a smart woman who's strong, independent, and can do things and be heroic and prove that actually, women are just as smart and just as clever as men are? Although, to be honest with you, if they were putting it in to boost the feminist ideals, I would say that they were putting in an SJW character, and I wouldn't like it. But that's not, again, it's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, are they putting it there because they want a female character who can be strong, who can be clever, who can do the things that, do things like be heroic in certain ways, not to prove some SJW agenda, but just because they feel that a female character would be the perfect lead. Are they doing it for that? Or are they doing it to appeal to teenage young men by making her walk around in either skin-tight leathers, so that it leaves nothing to the imagination, or in, again, next to nothing, perhaps wearing a bikini or a swimsuit or some other kind of costume that leaves very little to the imagination, and you're wondering what the heck is going on here. And we've all seen these types in the video games where they're walking around in clothing that you're looking at and going, what the heck? But again, I think I've done a vlog on that subject as well, so again, I'm not going to go too far down that. But again, if they're presenting the woman just to be a sexual object as the lead, and and she spends a lot of her time lusting after the men and flirting with them, and her dialogue is mostly, oh, you handsome man, you, and being really sort of in your face sexual, then again, why? Women are not like that. The women I meet certainly aren't. They don't spend their time lusting after me, but again, I'm not the stereotypical handsome man with the big muscles and everything else. But even given what I am, they don't spend their time lusting after me. That's for sure, you can be certain. So again, if you want a female lead, that's fine. But again, you have to ask, why do you want a female lead? Was it a choice just because you felt that this game would suit a female lead? Or was it because you wanted a sexual eye candy to attract the young teenage boys to come and play your game? So again, that's the point. So really, ultimately, through all of this, and through this whole vlog, I think we have come back to the same point. That as far as I'm concerned, I never really care whether the lead is male or female. But if you give me a choice, I will always pick male because I am male. That way, if the main character is male, then I can immerse myself more in it and pretend that he's me. That he is Joe Silver and that we are going on the adventure as him. And him as me, if you see what I mean. Whereas if the character is female, it's clearly not me, but I can still get into it and I can still enjoy it. I've played Tomb Raider games where Lara Croft was the main character, but I certainly didn't get quite as immersed in those because the main character was female, so it clearly wasn't me, it was Lara Croft. But that's the point. So if you give me a choice, I will pick male every time. If you give me a choice. But if you do not give me a choice, if you have decided to pick either male or female, then my question is always, why? And again, if it is to objectify said gender, then that's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. If it is because you think that the particular game style suits said gender, fair enough, there's no problem. Then I don't care what gender you have as your lead. If you want to do that, that's fine, that's your business. And I think that's really what it comes down to, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's not so much, it's not about sexism, about, it should always be a male or it should always be a female. No. You can have either you want. I don't care. But it's always about why. Is it to objectify them? Or is it because that particular gender suits the gameplay? Now, if that particular gender suits the gameplay, then fair enough. If it doesn't suit the gameplay, but you want a pretty object up at front, or again a handsome object if it's a male, then I have to question your motives. Anyway, that's my opinion, and I have rambled on quite enough. Now, if you have an opinion of your own, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed what you have seen here, please, please, please leave me a like, leave me a sub, and leave me a comment down below saying so, because I love feedback. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I have been Joe Silver, this has been a vlog,